In this video, we will go over the run-play operation for Season 3. Before we begin, though, I want to bring up something that I forgot to mention in the pass-play video, and that is that I'm running 3 different offensive formations this year. Now, regardless of the formation, the pass-play and the run-play are going to operate the same with just a slight variation when it comes to the I formation. But I'll get to that later on in this video. So right now I will walk you through the basic operation of the run play, which is a very simple process. It's the same process I've been using for the last couple years. I always start out with the quarterback behind center, face to go back, and the tailback or halfback, if you prefer, the front of his base, straight behind him, 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So at the snap, just like a passing play, the quarterback will drop back, the halfback will move forward, and at the point where they meet each other or pass each other, that's where you stop the board. And as long as the halfback doesn't fall down, he gets the ball from there, and I don't pivot the halfback. He goes where he's going to go. And we just run the play from there to its conclusion, whether he gets a touchdown, runs out of bounds, gets tackled, whatever. So now we're going to run the play. And there's a snap, and that's where you stop the board. See where the quarterback and the halfback meet. Now the halfback gets the ball. If the halfback would have fell down the play, then it would become a passing play. Now we just move the quarterback out of the way, and we run the board again. The halfback goes up the middle and runs into his own guys, turns to his right, runs out of bounds. Looks like it's about a 12-yard gain. You may have noticed that that last play was run out of a 2 tight end single back formation, just like this. And this is one of the 3 formations you'll see this year, the 2 tight ends on either side of the line. And I think I actually used this formation in the pass operation video as well. You'll see teams probably equally run and pass out of this formation this year. Now we'll look at a running play out of a 4 wide receiver set. And it's worth noting that when the teams are in a 4 wide receiver set, I am going to most likely have the defense in dime. The 2 outside linebackers will be swapped out for these 2 defensive backs that are set out a little wider. Having said all that, the operation of this run play is going to remain the same. You've got that single back behind the quarterback. At the point where they meet, the handoff is going to take place, and then we just run the board till the conclusion of the play. So here we go. Let's run the play. There's a snap. We stop the board. Handoff takes place. Halfback gets the ball, and he gets behind his guard. He gets behind the right guard, pushes forward, knocks over the dime corner. And if he can get through that, it looks like he's got clear sailing. And he pushes right past that fallen player, and they ain't going to catch him. He's gone. Now we'll look at the only play that's slightly different. That's the I formation. And you've got the fullback at the 10-yard depth mark instead of the halfback, but the halfback is right behind him. So the only change is when we activate the board at the point where the quarterback and the fullback meet or pass each other, we stop the board, just like they did right here. So now the halfback gets the ball, and the quarterback's already out of the way, so I don't have to move him out of the way. And he gets behind his fullback, but it's really the guard that's laying a nice block on the defensive tackle and the safety, and springs him loose, and he's gone. Touchdown. So lastly, I'm going to show you how the pass operation differs in the I formation. And it's really at the beginning when these 2 guys converge, because the fullback is in the place where the halfback usually is. So here we go. There's first stop. And just like I showed you before in the pass video, the first thing I do is straighten the quarterback out. And then I move the fullback out of the way. And then whatever way the fullback is, the halfback gets pivoted in the opposite direction, like that. Then we start to pivot the defensive backs. You've seen this before. This is a base 4-3, so you got the 2 safeties going back, the corners going back. The middle linebacker drops. And, everything else is the same. Quarterback's got to get to that 12-yard depth mark. He does. We pivot him straight. Any unengaged defenders, we would pivot towards him. There's none. So now we run the board again. He's got to get to 2 yards within the line of scrimmage, unengaged to be able to throw it. And he does, but he's being pressured by the right defensive end. And that would be a pressure pass if he has somebody open. But he ain't got nobody open. He's got one guy deep, but he's covered over top by the safety. His other receiver in that corner fell down on the near side of the field. Where's his fullback? I don't know what his fullback's doing. He's going back to his own goal line for some reason. And it looks like the halfback is tied up over there on the other side of the field. And where did his tight end go? Let's see if we can find... Oh, his tight end went out of bounds. So at this point, with nobody open, this is where the quarterback runs. So we don't pivot the quarterback. He's going to run in the way he's already facing. We just pivot any unengaged defenders downfield to try to stop him. So it's all in the hands of the Iowa Bulls quarterback. He gets away from the defensive end, makes a nice move downfield, inside the 10, and he's going to score. Now that we covered the running play and the 3 offensive formations, you'll see, let's talk about defense. Because the defense is going to kind of adjust with 2 formations of its own. You're going to see a base 4-3, which is what you've got right here. And we've got 3 levels to the defense this year. The defensive line. Then you'll have the 3 linebackers at the second level. At the third level, you got the safeties in the corners. We bring in the safeties for additional run support. Then I have the corners taking away the inside from the outside receivers and basically using the sidelines as an extra defender. Defense will go to a dime when they're facing a 4 wide receiver set like this, or the offense is in a long yardage situation on third down. And what I do is I'll take out the linebackers and insert a dime corner between the safety and the starting corner. The dime corners will remain on the same level as the linebackers were, just spread out wider. So there's not a big gap left underneath the coverage, and they can better defend the slot receivers. Okay, it's time to give you an update on my painting progress. These are the Tennessee Smokies in progress. I have a lot of work to do on them, but they're coming along nicely, and once I'm done these, I'll be done the AEFL South. This is the concept art of the uniform colors, and there is the concept art for the logo. If you watched my expansion team video, you will note that this is not the way the Smokies looked originally. I'm going to go back and show you the original design of the uniform and the helmet and explain why I changed it. So here's what they initially looked like. A dark and light green combination, and there is the original logo. Well, I really liked this color design, but when it came to the practical application of it, I said to myself, if you paint them like this, you will never find these players on the field for obvious reasons. So I went back into the lab and I came up with the current color design. Then I also took another look at the logo, and although I do like this, I did not believe it translated well to the miniature helmet. So I rethought the design with that in mind, and I think this looks really good on the mini helmet. And here it is. Let's see if we can get a close-up look. I think it looks good. I mean, when it comes to writing the word Smokies in that little space, well, let's just say I'm doing my best. Sure, there's someone skilled enough with a paintbrush to write that small. What I'm doing works. So that's a wrap on this video. More painting updates and rules videos headed your way. Thanks for watching.